if I was in a cave for 1 year, I would not come out and go directly to the sun. I would build up slowly. So a lot of people that would be listening to this are possibly malnourished. So again, if you're avoiding the sun, you are malnourished. By definition, you will be low hormone D. Low hormone D means high deuterium, which is inflammation, and you're not getting enough of what you need to thrive. So you're malnourished. I wouldn't encourage anyone to fast who's malnourished. And you know you're malnourished because you're hungry a lot. It's called the leptin receptor in your brain has not counted enough electrons. And your brain doesn't say it's a carbohydrate or it's protein or it's fat or it's a banana. It counts electrons. And when you get the sun, it counts electrons. Grounding is electrons. And food is just another source of electrons into our body.
Living here in Australia, there is so much, talk about there is a big hole in the ozone layer, unlike in any other place. So we need more sunscreen and sunglasses and, put a hat and, all those things are, it's very much a normal. It's not like,
Yes.
something exceptional some people do, but that's the normal. So
Yeah.
why is it like that? And what can we do about it?
So, and that's a fact. The studies are done, a huge meta-analysis in Sweden that showed that people who avoid the sun have more chance of disease and death. It's equivalent or worse than smoking. The US Navy do brilliant studies that show the ones who are working indoors have more incidence of skin cancer. So, and breast cancer. So, and I've seen it for my 12 years. Build up a sensible sun exposure, get what gives us life on Earth, and your body improves. So again, the reason is that it's fear mongering. It's to steer people into buying sunscreen, sunglasses. Then they'll need to go to the dermatologist to get more bad advice, to then get the medicine and supplements, steal their money, lower their brain IQ until they die a poor death with a body that has a lack of energy. If you avoid the sun, you have two options. First option is that you're sick. Second option is that you will be sick.
Hello, everyone. Today, we are joined by Chad Davis, author of The Primed Life and a health coach with more than 12 years of experience transforming lives. And Chad has helped people, thousands of people worldwide, reversing serious health conditions such as type 2 diabetes, hypertension, PCOS, obesity, psoriasis, many different skin conditions, gout, infertility, obesity, lethargy, whatnot. You name it, he has dealt with it. And even the mental health conditions such as anxiety and depression, he has helped a lot of people in that. Not only he's helping people and individuals, he is also helping doctors, families, and nurses, people who are in professional capacity. So he helps them as well. So we are very excited to have him here today in our podcast. And what makes his approach very unique is his ability to blend practical health strategies with the principles of quantum physics and guiding people to true lasting well-being. And that is amazing because not many people around are able to do that. And we are very excited to dive into his wisdom today and explore how we can all live a more primed life. He's all about primed life. And Chad, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Meena. It's a real pleasure to join you and Indu. Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
And like you said before, let's rise ourselves by lifting others. So yeah, we're going to try to do that in a fun way today.
Definitely, 100%. Very excited for this.
Welcome, Chad.
Yeah.
Thanks, Indu.
Yeah, Indu is my co-host. She is an emotional healing coach, and yeah, we both together have been on this journey for a while now, and it has been very exciting and lots of learning, and we can't wait to learn more from you today. Yeah. Um, Indu, do you want to add anything?
Well, I'm excited to learn about what prime life is and the lessons that I'm going to learn. And so I've already implemented few things which I'll share you off the screen. But yeah, so really excited to have you here, Chad, and it's a pleasure. For us to have you in the sense like to give the practical tools for the audience, and it's not a cumbersome process, and it's something that we all need to focus on health primary more than anything else, because we at the moment, I think we are more outwardly looking rather than inwardly. So this conversation, I'm really looking forward to hear more. So let's start with that. Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you, Indu. Thank you, Chad. Um, so, as a middle-aged woman, we both are, Indu and I are. We are actually very keen to get started on this topic around hormones and how hormones impact us, and what are the various issues that we are facing. Like, for example, for middle-aged women, we are heading into the menopause, but for other women in other age groups, like for example, they may have fertility issues or puberty related issues and pregnancy. All these areas, they are all, the connecting thread there is hormones, and that's where we want to dive in today. And we would like to hear from you, how can someone benefit from primed life, living a primed life, by adopting the principles that you are suggesting.
Okay, awesome question. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, like you said, I've been helping people with their hormones, with their energy production, with building a stronger and better being for 12 years. So it's been an absolute joy to do that, as you can imagine. And for over a year, really specifically a lot of Indian clients, thanks to the wonderful Guru Pashupati, who we all respect. So I've got some really nice experience helping people reverse um, polycystic ovarian syndrome, infertility, and from all ages, from a lady, a 15-year-old who didn't have her period to having a regular period, people who couldn't have babies for 5 years and had gone to every specialty doctor in Asia, and within 6 weeks of being the primed life, their hormones had regularized and they became pregnant. But it's not just that, it's they then had a healthy, strong baby. So, and I think the core there that we're going to talk about is how to have a strong body, how to have an immune system that works, how to have your hormones to be functioning well. So yeah, that's the specialty. But it's really quite simple, and a lot of people like to make it complicated. And for me, it's about the hormones that you get and that you make from the morning sun. So every day is a chance to reset our circadian rhythm, to make melatonin, and to have a hormonal cascade that is rooted in nature, and to help us to then operate properly for that day, but then to also have enough energy, stored energy, to repair at night. So it could be complicated, and a lot of people make it complicated. I try to keep it simple. And that's the sun. The sun is on an angle there behind me, but it really starts with the sun, getting the morning sun in your eye clock. So I can see you both, and you both look lovely, but the main function of my eyes is a clock. So when I get the morning sun, it sets my circadian rhythm for the day. There's a hormonal cascade, including a diuretic that holds my urine at night. Um, Melatonin, which is one of our master hormones, which we need to repair and regenerate at night. So when we're talking about how do we repair, we're basically looking at the body as a whole, and how can we give that body more energy and a more a better operating system where the hormones can then come out and can flow. So it's really looking at the foundation. So, and if you can get the foundation right, whether you're 5 years old or 85, you're going to have more energy and your body will have more resources to repair, to do what it needs to do. So, so hormones, of course, we all know that how important they are, but it's that circadian rhythm and that light in our eye as the first thing in the morning that sets us up for success, for a normal hormonal cascade. And then just incidentally, vitamin D is not a vitamin, it's a hormone. So if you want to get your hormones in control, hormone D is the most important. And it's people who have low hormone D that have more incidence of disease, breast cancer, skin cancer, polycystic ovarian syndrome. So again, if you want to get your hormones in check, hormone D is super important, because then that also helps control other ones, like melatonin and other things like this. So so I hope that answers the question. And it's about building a stronger, more energetic being, not analyzing as, how can we fix your eyesight? How can we fix your skin or a pimple? It's how can we give this body more energy so that it can operate more optimally.
Well, that is interesting to know, that I believe most of us didn't know that difference. Vitamin D is not a vitamin and it's a hormone. Now, as you mentioned, vitamin D or the hormone vitamin, I don't know how to put it now. I'm a bit confused. So it's
hormone D.
Hormone D, right. So hormone D, now if that is the source and that gives a cascading effect for other hormones to, to develop and be resourceful in our body. We here in Australia, we have we've been told not to go into the sunlight directly, where you have to protect yourself, wear the sunscreen lotion and other things. So how can we get the best out of it? So is there a particular time that we need to be exposed in sunlight? Is there a time where we shouldn't be exposed to the sunlight? And also another question in relation to that is, these days people are getting more exposed to the red light therapy. What's your thought on that as well?
All right, awesome. I love that question, Indu. Thank you. And here's one of my favorite possessions. It's the sun. I got that in the Philippines. And I love that question. And it's a question that I talk about more than anything else. But what I would say is this one is that if the sun goes away, we all die. The sun makes all food on planet Earth via photosynthesis. The beautiful flowers that Mina has in front of her grow in the sun. If you put them indoors under artificial light, they will not thrive. They will not be as strong. And you can whisper words of love and you can put supplements in their water, etc. But the thing that they need the most is the sun. And that also goes for us. And it's especially so if you have beautiful brown skin, like you both, or if you're from the tropics, or if you're from the equator. And as you get older, I'll be 57 next week, I need more sun, because as you age, your skin needs more sunlight to then make that hormone D. So the simple answer is, I let people know, go as naked as you can, as often as you can, without overdoing it, in a wise manner. So, if I could, I would be naked all day. But of course, I would get arrested, and other things like that would happen to me. So what I do is I then wear the minimum clothing allowed to get away with it. And then as I then build up my tolerance to the sun, when I get UVA, which rises in the morning, that actually helps me to make melanin, which protects my skin for UVB and for the afternoon. So it's important to get A before B. And that just makes sense because you're prepping your skin through your eyes about what is coming. So but your eyes are a sensor for the environment. So when I do it in a sensible manner, without sunglasses, without sunscreen, and I would build up in a sensible manner, so that if I came from Ireland and it was the first time to see the sunlight for a long time, or I came out of a cave, I would maybe just start with the morning sun, the sunset because it's milder, and maybe a few minutes during the day, and then I would just keep building. It's called titrating and building a solar callus. And just like my dog Billy does, he loves the sun. But once he's had enough, he knows to seek shelter, or he knows to go inside. So it's really it's almost as simple as that. Build up. And I have a beautiful friend called Etel, who was maybe 6 kilograms overweight. Mental cognition was poor, memory was poor, and the sun was too bright and too hot. She built up the morning sun tolerance, UVA, and looking directly at the sun as well. And initially her eyes would water, but as she got stronger, then she could tolerate more. And coincidentally, her sleep improved because of the melatonin production improved. And then her memory improved and she lost 6 kilograms without doing anything else. The food was the same and it was purely through the light. I've had other customers in the Philippines. The lady said to me, "Oh, Chad, I've lost asthma." I said, "Oh, wonderful. Did you change your food?" She said, "No, exactly the same. What I did was to get more sunlight, because the sun will also penetrate into your body. So it doesn't just land on your skin, and then it makes hormone D through sulfated cholesterol, but it also promotes blood flow to your eyes, to your brain, to your heart, to your liver, and then it also penetrates. So a lot of athletes who get Achilles heel injuries, they are athletes that perform indoors. They wear socks and shoes, and their Achilles becomes weak from lack of natural light. Ladies with breast cancer, as a general rule, lack of sunlight here and low hormone D. So the stories are there. They've been published, but unfortunately it's been hidden because there's more money to be made when people take pharmaceutical or supplements, or believe that the gym or a miracle drug, a diet, is going to help them, when really it's the light environment that we live in controls our hormone cycle. So yeah, just it really gets back to light, and that should be the number one driver of what people do. So I hope that answers the question of sunlight, sensible exposure, but it always depends as well. Context is key. Do you live at the equator? Do you have black skin or brown skin? If you have brown skin, are you adapted to the sun or are you weak to the sun? Do you hide from the sun with sunglasses and sunscreen? So, or are you building sensibly over time so that what you handle today is not as good as you handle tomorrow? And as you get browner skin, your immune system improves. Your melanin in your skin improves. Your melatonin production improves. Your hormone D production improves. And then mysteriously and wonderfully, your immune system and your life improves. So what I would say there is we want to maximize natural. So everyone would say that, do you want fake friends? No. Do you want to eat fake food? Obviously not. Fake flowers compared to real flowers? Hello? So the sun is natural. It's a rainbow of colors. And in that rainbow is 43% infrared, green, yellow, blue, indigo. We know the rainbow of colors. And that's a full natural spectrum. And that's what we want in our eyes, on our skin, natural light. So, and then red light therapy is sunshine. So 43%. It penetrates, it's blood flow, it's dopamine, it's beta endorphin. So for me, and also for Guru Pashupati, I know we always promote natural over fake. At the moment, I'm inside artificial light. I have a computer to see you, and my windows are closed so the sound doesn't come in. So therefore, because I am in artificial light, I'm protecting my eyes with my blue light blocking glasses. I'm protecting my skin with a long sleeve shirt, but I've put some extra infrared light into my orbit to better simulate outside. So of course I would rather be outside, and before this meeting and after, I will be outside doing infrared light therapy. It's called the sun. But in the meantime, for today's purpose, I've got this infrared light device. But it's not something I talk about a lot because we want natural. And therefore, and these blue light blocking glasses help me to limit the fake. So I guess that's the theme. Let's go with natural. Let's limit the fake. And I think most people would agree that would be a good template for life. And coincidentally, people get healthy when they go in that direction. And that includes with supplements, indoor gyms, a fake environment. A lot of medicines are not natural. They're made in a lab. So again, we just want to get back to nature.
Amazing. Yeah, can't agree more. And actually, when we talk about natural exposure to sunlight and directly getting it from the sun, but living here in Australia, there is so much, talk about there is a big hole in the ozone layer, unlike in any other place. So we need more sunscreen and sunglasses, and put a hat, and all those things are. It's very much a normal. It's not like something exceptional some people do, but that's the normal. So
Yeah.
why is it like that, and what can we do about it?
Okay, the first reason why it's become normal is that most people here are low dopamine. They can't think. Their brains are stuck in neutral. I'm sorry to say it that way, but it's true. And they don't observe well. So because all you have to do is, if you walk outside and you look at somebody who's healthy, and you'll see that their skin is glowing, they're healthy, they're probably in the ocean, they haven't got sunglasses on, and they're doing well. Go to an infertility clinic, of which there's thousands in Australia doing IVF, and they hopped out of their electric vehicle with their sunglasses on, had an umbrella to hide from the sun in spring when the sun is mild, and they wonder why they're infertile, because their body is infertile because it's not getting what it needs. So in Australia, we have very high incidence of skin cancer. We also have very high incidence of low hormone D. We have never been hiding from the sun more, and we have never been sicker. So, and that's a fact. The studies are done, a huge meta-analysis in Sweden that showed that people who avoid the sun have more chance of disease and death. It's equivalent or worse than smoking. The US Navy do brilliant studies that show the ones who are working indoors have more incidence of skin cancer. So, and breast cancer. So, and I've seen it for my 12 years. Build up a sensible sun exposure, get what gives us life on Earth, and your body improves. So again, the reason is that it's fear mongering. It's to steer people into buying sunscreen, sunglasses. Then they'll need to go to the dermatologist to get more bad advice, to then get the medicine and supplements, steal their money, lower their brain IQ until they die, a poor death with a body that has a lack of energy. Sunlight is energy. Sun is life. It grows the food that these people who are scared of the sun, it grows their food. even in Australia, where they tell you there's a huge hole burning us in half, right? Catching fire just by walking down the street. Well, the grass didn't catch fire. The cows are still alive in the paddock. My dog doesn't need sunglasses last time I looked. So, and again, but it can become true when you believe the lies and you hide from the sun and you wear sunglasses and sunscreen, that toxic chemicals into your bloodstream, your brain getting the incorrect message of where you are in the world, you get sick. So I have a saying that just says that if you avoid the sun, you have two options. First option is that you're sick. Second option is that you will be sick. And if you continue to do it, you will get sicker. You will spring more leaks. And again, just another quick anecdote of Natalie is in Germany, part of our Eternal Youth group. She's beautiful. And her friend is so brainwashed into believing that the sun is bad and can quote this one and that one. And she's hiding from the sun and her immune system is in the toilet. She's sick. Natalie's friend is sick. So she's proof of concept that hiding from the sun doesn't work because she'll tell you that why is she sick and she's hiding from the sun. So again, build up, be sensible, but start to think. And today in the 30-day Eternal Youth Health Challenge is about your health heroes. So it's looking at people who are healthy, who are vibrant, and asking why. I saw a picture of myself from 30 years ago, and I had my own restaurant. I worked late nights. My skin was pale. I was fat. I was ugly. I was low dopamine. I was dumb. And now I look younger than I did 30 years ago. And my brain and my mitochondria works well. My heart works well. I don't take medicine, supplements, gym, diets. So so I hope that answers the question. Unfortunately, a lot of Australians are low dopamine. They can't think. They believe the lies, and they will suffer the consequences, unfortunately. So, but we're here to plant seeds. We're not saying that they're bad. We're saying that haven't observed well enough, and we're just trying to open their eyes a little bit. Take off the sunglasses, open your eyes.
Yeah.
Actually, there's something to add on here. There was a study done in the hospital where they observed the patients who are near to the window, they are being able to get discharged 4 days than the average people who are not exposed to the sunlight. So then what they did is they took the patients on the chair to get exposed in the sunlight, and that's the only thing they did. The other treatments, nothing they changed, just exposing to the sunlight. They were able to get better, and they were able to discharge from the hospital 4 days prior to the other patients comparatively. So yeah, we can't emphasize enough to say hormone D from the natural resources important than to have the artificial things to intake.
Yeah, it's a great point, Indu. And imagine that even when it's through the glass, through contact lenses, sunglasses, glass, it's diluted. It's not the same. It's still artificial light. So you said that those benefits just through the glass. Can you imagine the hospitals in the past that had sun decks? They did. That were there and actually helped people. So now we get hospitals that have the worst environment of non-native EMF, radiation, wake you up every hour, the worst LED lighting, no windows, food that's not fit for, your enemy. And these are healthcare facilities. And then worse than that is the advice they give about food to eat, hide from the sun, don't forget your sunscreen and wear your sunglasses and cover your wound. People who have a really bad injury, if they have that injury in the sun, they tend not to get infection as if that is compared to somebody who has it at night. So the healing is in the sun. You don't leave your Band-Aid on all the time. You take it off and you put your finger in the sun. So the sun creates strong bones. We're designed to be addicted to the sun. It aids healing. It reduces inflammation. Yet people are hiding from it. And even if you go for a walk outside with sunglasses on, you're not in the sun because your brain doesn't understand where you are. It's getting a wrong message. So so it's a great point that you made, and we need to start avoiding hospitals wherever and however we can, and become our own doctor. Create a healing environment within our home by opening windows, opening doors, spending more time on the balcony than inside. Simple things that make a big difference.
While we have understood about the natural resources that we need to build our energy and all that, I want to ask a very personal question, Chad. So when did you get into this way of living as a primed life? Like at what stage? And yeah, I just want to have some personal touch and insight on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm like everyone. We all, when I was 30 and 40, we want to be healthy, and we're trying to listen and learn, and what can we do? So I actually used to have Wheat Bix, the breakfast cereal with skim milk. I used to do lots of running. I was quite a good runner, but I was sick. I was fat. I had shin splints, which is a debilitating thing that stops you from running. So I did it, and I probably wore sunglasses, and I used to put on sunscreen, and I was sick. So I knew the wrong way to do it. And then lucky for me, the first thing I did was listen to Mark Sisson from the Primal Life. And he basically said, look, avoid low energy foods, bread, pasta, noodles, vegetable oil, most soy that's GMO. Try to eat more nourishing food. And I thought, what? So I did that, and I lost 10 kilos. And I improved my brain and my health. But then I came across Dr. Jack Kruse. So, I've done it the wrong way, and I've did marathons and full triathlons. And I wasn't healthy. But of course I'm trying to be, and I thought I was. Then with Jack Kruse, that's when he really opened my eyes about benefits of natural light, good water, magnetic field, good food, positive thoughts, your friends, reducing what drains your energy. So when I followed Jack, that's when my health really went to the next level. And then when I applied his knowledge to friends and family and clients, instead of helping them this fast, it happened this fast. So I knew that it worked. And now I've got proof from all around the world. You name a country, you name a disease, I've assisted people with that by these principles. No medicine, no supplement. So so now I do not own any sunglasses. I never will. I just use blue light blocking glasses. I chase the sun, grounding. And, people have said to me, Chad, you look younger than I remember you, even though I haven't seen you for 10 years. But what I'm happy about is that my brain works. My heart works. I'm not worried about disease. I've got peace of mind that I didn't have before, because I was always chasing, what's the right diet? Should I take this supplement or that supplement? So, so I've overtrained. I've done 100 kilometers running in a week, biked in the gym. I've done everything wrong. And my body paid the price. But my body has since rewarded me for doing the right thing. So I'm super grateful. I'm grateful for all my mistakes, but I'm grateful that I learned. And especially grateful for Dr. Jack Kruse, because he's really put his life on the line to shed this knowledge and this information. So I guess I'm just one person then trying to spread more knowledge to let people try it themselves and see how it goes for you. Because we're all different. But the basic principles of life light, water, magnetism, and it's real. It's not fake. So yeah, when I started doing that, life got better.
That's a beautiful story and very inspirational. That's an amazing transformation as well.
Today's episode of Wellbeing in Me is sponsored by Narendip Kaur. She is a leadership coach, emotional agility speaker, and what I love most is that she helps people step out of self doubt and step into confidence and clarity. She works in three key areas. First, through keynote talks and workshops, where she teaches emotional intelligence, resilience, and leadership for professionals who want to thrive. Second, she offers coaching and mentorship one on one or in groups, helping you align your goals with your values, build confidence, and actually follow through your action plans. And third, her well being coaching brings it all together, connecting emotional resilience with physical health. From gut health to reversing aging, she helps you regain energy and balance. And there's something special just for Wellbeing in Me listeners. Narendip is giving away a complimentary 30-minute confidence and well-being breakthrough session. In that call, you will uncover a mindset shift to let go of self-doubt, learn how gut health fuels your energy, and leave with one practical step you can take away to thrive. You can grab your free session at narendip.com or just connect with her on LinkedIn or Instagram at narendip.com. Don't miss this. This is a great opportunity to start to building self-confidence and energy in your life.
So, what are the other things that they can do as part of the primed lifestyle, which will help someone who is really sick, not even specifically for any hormonal issues or any specific disease, but for anything at all? What can they do?
Yeah. Oh, great. Thank you for that. There was one lady called Ramisha, and she read my book. Edition 2 is going to be out soon. But Ramisha had something called trigeminal neuralgia. It's a brain condition treated by injections, drugs, etc. She read the book. It went away. I didn't even meet her. She's since done the 30-day challenge. But just by applying the knowledge within the book helped her. And it's really quite simple. I call it a three-legged stool when I'm talking to new clients. How can we improve the energy in your body? We are beings of light. So how can we get more light into our body and then retain that light? How can we be more energetic? How can we reduce what drains our energy? What sucks us? What sucks our battery out? So, and again, that could be artificial light, poor thoughts, poor sleep. And then when you improve the energy inputs and you reduce the bad, you have a net increase of energy. If you then couple that with good sleep, your body knows what to do. Your body is a self-healing wonder. And another saying is, when you do the right thing by your body, it will forgive you and then it will reward you. So, and even you can direct your thoughts to that area that you need healing, and it will speed up the healing process. But you need resources. You need energy throughout the day, plus you need excess energy for repair at night. So it's a simple three-legged stool. And anyone who's sick has a lack of energy. And we know it because, and then they're creating weak spots, their weak spots in their body materialize, whether it's their foot, their brain, their heart, whatever their genetic weak spot is, that shows up when their body has a lack of net energy. Because then how can the body heal if it hasn't got the resources to heal? So Mina, if I come to your house and you say, I want you to help paint, I love painting. I'd open the windows, I'd put on some music, and I'll get there in Sydney and I'll say, where's the paint? And you say, I have no paint. So it's the same thing. Your body needs resources to repair. So the number one resource we've said is the sun. Then we need grounding energy. We do need good food. natural food made via sun. And then when you have more energy in your body, sunlight, grounding, positive thoughts, you can absorb more sunlight. So it gets back to the sun again. A body that has more energy absorbs more light and retains that light and then utilizes the light. Just like the flowers in front of Mina, those flowers are absorbing sunlight. And they're using that light to grow, to maybe produce fruit or to grow new leaves. Once those leaves have had too much sun or enough, they will turn away from the sun. Or poor leaves, the bad leaves will drop off so the other leaves can thrive. So again, it's really almost that simple. What kills a plant kills us. We would not put sunscreen and sunglasses on a plant. We would put it in the sun. We will talk to that plant. We will give it grounding energy, good nutrients, and then lo and behold, the plant will thrive. So so something like that. And again, just another really beautiful story of another Indian client in the US. She had an indoor plant. She said, listen to the talk about indoor life versus outdoor life, real versus fake. So she took the plant to the sun and all the leaves dropped off because the sun was too bright. The plant wasn't used to the sun because it had been deprived of the sun. But this is the beauty. The plant grew back stronger. The new leaves with the new environment, a new natural environment, saw that plant thrive better than it ever did indoors. So it's almost that simple. And if you are a tropical plant, like you both are, you need the sun more. And conversely, if you don't get the sun more, your problems will be worse. So for anyone listening in Australia, if you're of tropical descent, don't believe the BS about the sun's going to burn you. It burns you if you don't do it the right way, if you don't titrate and build up. So I hope that answers the question there.
Yes. In fact, I think I was one of those person to believe that BS, because in the sense, I think soon after I gave birth, I felt like I'm more sensitive towards the sunlight. And then I kept avoiding going to like whenever there is like summer, I could feel like my energy is drained, and I would avoid literally going out in the sun time. So it's only after the sun sets I would go out. That was my practice. And now I understand that's not the way. I should actually more prepared and strengthen that aspect of being more conditioned to receiving the natural source.
Yeah, it's beautifully said, Indu, as well. And I guess because I don't know the answer, so you could let us know. How were you doing under that template? Like, were you thriving? Were you full of energy and abundant thoughts and happy? And so again, this is what we're saying. It's about you.
Yeah.
It's not about me and what's good for me. It's how does that interact with you when you do it in a sensible manner.
Yeah.
So don't go out and get burnt and then say, Chad's wrong because, he got me burnt. Build up sensibly. So maybe back to you. How were you doing at that time? And have you since improved the parameters of your health?
I wasn't really feeling any great at all. So summer is something which I would avoid as much as everybody were expecting it. So I was always in the dilemma, should I go during the daylight or should I avoid it? And my energy level was not at the optimum. And as I hear speaking, you telling about things, now I think this season I will really work on improving that aspect of it, definitely. So as you were talking about repairing, in the sense having the energy and then having the excessive energy to repair our body, on that note, there is a new term or the new aspect that's coming up or more prevalent these days is about fasting, water fasting. There are two types: intermittent fasting and then 3 days of water fasting, where they say it helps you to heal. What's
Yes.
your thoughts on that, Chad?
Awesome. Great question. First of all, it's always context. So example would be if I was in a cave for 1 year, I would not come out and go directly to the sun. I would build up slowly. So a lot of people that would be listening to this are possibly malnourished. So again, if you're avoiding the sun, you are malnourished. By definition, you will be low hormone D. Low hormone D means high deuterium, which is inflammation, and you're not getting enough of what you need to thrive. So you're malnourished. I wouldn't encourage anyone to fast who's malnourished. And you know you're malnourished because you're hungry a lot. It's called the leptin receptor in your brain has not counted enough electrons. And your brain doesn't say it's a carbohydrate or it's protein or it's fat or it's a banana. It counts electrons. And when you get the sun, it counts electrons. Grounding is electrons. And food is just another source of electrons into our body. So you can imagine if you are an Indian lady living in Sydney and you're not getting electrons from the sun, you're not getting electrons from the ground, your only source of electrons is your food, but then you're vegetarian and you're just eating fruit and simple carbohydrates. Well, that's low energy food. That is food that is predominantly sugar. And it's not going to nourish you. So that person will be hungry. They will be now malnourished. That person should not fast. Doesn't make sense. So what I would suggest is you get the sun, you ground, you look for alternative sources of energy. And if you're a vegetarian, then you can add more ghee. You can add coconut oil, coconut cream, because that will then give added nutrients, energy to your food. So instead of being 2 units, it becomes 5. So once you're nourished, your body works well. Fasting is awesome because then you've got the benefits, what we call apoptosis and autophagy, where you can repair your mitochondria, your cells optimally at night. But again, our body is designed to have famine, to fast. But I call it regular intelligent fasting in my book because it's not for everyone. Ladies during their cycle should probably be a bit more cautious about doing that. But I've fasted for 3 days, working full time for Australia Post, delivering mail. But I was getting lots of sun, so I was still getting energy. And then I would get grounding, and it was easy. And then I had all of this cellular renewal. Quite often when I've done my seminars in the Philippines in front of even 1,000 people, I did it in a fasted state because that would then help with my brain, with my mental cognition. It helps to reduce hunger eventually because it redefines what hunger is. It gives your digestive system a break because we're not always digesting food. So then that energy can be diverted to other areas of cellular repair. So again, what we're doing is, I guess with the Prime Life, we're building a better, stronger person. And we're doing it day by day. But it only happens sleep by sleep. So you only get stronger while you sleep. But you need to have the resources from the sun, from the food, etc. You need to have that melatonin, which is made in morning sunlight through your eyes to help you sleep. And then a protocol might be fasting if you're nourished. So, the reason why I'm saying it this way is that with the 30-day Eternal Youth Health Challenge, food, electrons is day 12. So we don't talk about food until day 12. We don't talk about fasting or cold thermogenesis until days 18 and 19, because we want your body to be energized before you contemplate this fasting or cold therapy or whatever. So it's just like the other way to describe it in Do as well is if if you've got a friend who wants to go and run a marathon or to do lots of exercise, outdoor exercise rocks. But unless you're energized, you shouldn't do it. You're not going to drive your car to Melbourne to visit me if your car has a broken engine.
Yeah.
You will fix the engine. So it's the same with what we're doing with the Primed Life. We're fixing your mitochondria, how you make energy, predominantly in your heart, your brain. We fix that energy. You feel abundant energy. You feel great. Then you can go for a walk, jump up a tree. Then you have the capability to fast, because then your body has the resources to do so and then repair. So fasting, it's a great question. We have a fast starting on Monday. Some of the ladies in the group will do it for, I think, 9 days. I'll probably do it for 3. But again, fasting, it can be awesome, but it needs to be context. Easier to do also in summer when you get more sun energy.
That's awesome. So when you were explaining about fasting, and you mentioned about cold thermogenesis, and what is that, and why should someone do it? Because that seems to be opposite of sunlight. Like, get the warmth from the sun, and then you're saying, go frozen.
That's an awesome question. I will go and jump in the ocean shortly after this. But what happens is, because remember that we've always said that the guiding light should be sunlight. If I'm getting cold, my skin gets goosebumps, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That will give your skin more surface area to absorb more sunlight. So it always comes back to the sun. So then I can absorb more light. My skin is white, or it's brown, but it was white. So I can absorb the light more easily when I live in Ireland or Norway or Sweden. A brown person is brown because they come from the tropics. So everything relates back to the sun. And I'll say it this way as well, is when you're strong and your immune system rocks and your hormone D is high, cold doesn't worry you. The heat doesn't worry you. I can look at the sun at midday in Mysore without glasses. Direct sun gazing, midday sun. When it's 35 degrees in Mysore, rock on. I can handle it. When it's 1 degree in Melbourne and everyone has ski clothes on, I can go into the cold ocean at 56. It's not because I'm special. It's because my body has energy. So again, we don't do the cold thermogenesis until we're energized, until our body is strong. But when you're cold, you shiver. You're trying to heat your body up. You're releasing infrared light into your body. So you're increasing your metabolism by 250%, your dopamine by 350%. So it feels good. And then that shivering thermogenesis is releasing sunlight in your body. So it all gets back, and that's 43% infrared. So, and that is a tool, it's a way to stay healthy in winter. So, because again, what happens is people live a fake life. When winter comes, they're covered from head to toe. The air conditioning's always on. Their eyes and their skin do not know that they're in winter. And that's wrong. When you're in summer, you should be in summer. When you're in winter, be in winter. And when I worked for Australia Post, everybody knew me because even when it was 1 degree during the day, I had short sleeves and short pants. And I was cold. I was cold, but I was improving my immune system. I was making myself more resilient. And again, that's important. I want to be an energized being. I want to live a good life. And this is the way that I have seen myself and thousands of others benefit from it. Yeah. So cold thermogenesis is cool. I actually have another business called Cold Water Coach. I've even been a cold water dog coach. Wow. So Yeah, so cold water can be awesome, and it can be just putting your feet into cold water, your hands, face dunk, the beach, a hot and then cold in the shower. I always prefer outside because we want to be in nature. Yeah.
Yeah, but would it work differently for women who have a different hormonal cycle?
Yes.
Yeah, because like for me, like with what you said, I was like, oh my god, I have never tried the cold side of things. I'm happy to do sauna or be outdoors and get the sun, but I have always shied away from the cold therapy, mainly because the nerve pain I used to have in my hands, and somehow that thought wasn't appealing to me to be in the cold.
Hey, okay. Challenge accepted, Mina.
Yeah,
I'm going to come to Sydney
yeah.
in winter, and we're going to do it in the cold ocean. So, and the reason why is that you're going to keep building your immune system. So you're going to keep building your hormone D. You're going to have better blood flow, and you're already doing well. You look good, but you're going to do better. More energy flow, and that's the other thing. When you have cold, you tunnel energy faster. You actually become younger. And I've seen it when I was in the Philippines. I would go into the cold therapy for 45 minutes. And when I hopped out, I had to stop and look in the mirror and say, whoa, I look great, glowing, you know, and that's what it does. So what we'll do is when I visit you in Sydney, we'll go to the ocean, we'll do a nitric oxide release exercise, we'll warm your body up. You will already have high hormone D, low inflammation, and then we'll just do it in the way that we encourage steady increased sunlight. We will titrate your ability to handle the cold, and you will see that it's not as hard as you thought, and that the benefits will be enormous. It will help you sleep. It will feel good because you get grounding as well as the cold. And then you will change that thought process. You will rewire your brain from I'm scared of the cold to I am now going to embrace the cold. So that's 100% possible. And just a quick story. A beautiful lady called Mimi was during the COVID times. We had a beautiful group that would always go into the ocean, even in the middle of winter. It was raining and freezing. We had lots of people following me, jumping in the ocean. She came up, said, "Can I join you?" I said, "Of course." She was 60 something plus, and within a short period of time, she was one of the best at handling the cold. And she adapted. She changed her attitude to it. Wow. Because before she talked to me, it was too cold. Another gentleman called Ian, he's now 75. He joins us all the time in the cold ocean. He had varicose veins, went away.
Wow.
Yep. So, and he's 75. If you look at him, he looks awesome. So again, cold can be very good, but listen to your body. If it's that time of month, you might want to be more cautious. It's up to you to practice and to see how it works for you.
Sure. Challenge accepted.
Yeah. Yay. Indu, you have to join us as well.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, like Chad, would you like to share anything that we have missed? Did we miss anything that is key to what you preach and what you help others to overcome their sickness? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, I just maybe I'll just mention a few of my not favorite, but a few people that have helped that spring to mind. Ekta and Gurav live in the US, and they have a little bit of money, so they had a beautiful gym built for Ekta. So she would spend hours in the gym at her house, but somehow she lacked energy, and she thought, just got to train harder. I have to do more. And I still remember to this day talking to her initially and her brain not really understanding what I was saying and thinking, I don't quite trust you. But now she said that the Prime Life has transformed her life, the way that she lives, for herself, her husband, and her two boys. And that's just what a beautiful thing that for me to feel great. But so glad for her because she was training too much. Yeah, we only have a certain number of heartbeats. You don't want to use them up running on a treadmill inside. You know, your more benefit is just walking outside in the sun than spending an hour and a half inside. So even I would see people in the pool in the Philippines swimming backwards and forwards in a chlorinated pool. They were getting sick with the chlorine. I would just be in the sun roasting myself without overdoing it, far healthier than they ever would be. General Atul is in provincial India with his children, 2 children, and his beautiful wife Jayoti. Their peace of mind and their happiness on finding nature every day, swimming in a lake, playing golf without shoes, climbing a tree. This is joy and happiness for them. Their lives will be better. They will be stronger, smarter, healthier, happier. And that's what we all want. And it's possible. We just have to, unlearn some things sometimes. And then even Shafiq, he's in Malaysia. His wife and he have both done the course. He had irritable bowel syndrome, which is really bad, and also psoriasis. And his life was not heading in the right direction. He's an awesome guy who's thriving. Didn't cost him medicine, supplements, natural. And I guess the beautiful thing there is that when that peace of mind comes, you save time and money. I don't need a dentist because I do coconut oil pulling. My teeth are strong from the sun. My bones are strong from the sun. Artificial light weakens your bones. It increases your blood sugar. So it's these things that I'm trying to help people to learn. So to unlearn the propaganda and the lies, and then relearning what works for you. So I think we covered most things. Is there anything else that we should talk about?
How can people find you? You are such a gem. Like I don't know. You shouldn't be hidden, in a small world. But yeah, how can people find you?
Thank you. Well, the book is The Primed Life by Chad Davis. That's on Amazon. But we've got a new version coming out, which will have Guru Pashupati on the front with me, and his chapter inside. New chapters talking delving more into melatonin as part of the sleep chapter, delving more into why the sun has to be the first light in your eyes. Chapters on, besides 20 lies we've been told, why artificial light drains your life force. The sun is life, artificial light drains it. Is one of the main causes of disease. So that book will come out shortly. It will be hard copy in India as well, and available around the world. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I've got Instagram, Primed for Your Life, and then phone number. I guess I'm happy for people to send me a message on WhatsApp. It's 0434 100 564. Don't be shy. I love talking to people. I love helping people, because that's where I get my happiness. That is my purpose. And I want to have energy every day so I can live my purpose. To be happy, to spend time with my girlfriend, with Billy, with my children, but then also to then pay it forward. So and then also I do, if anybody's interested, I do actually have some of these available. It's called Mito Life, Mito HQ. They're awesome blue light blocking glasses. I wear it before the sun rises if I get up early, and I wear it after sunset to protect my eyes from artificial light. So but it's more about knowledge. I'm not really into selling things. It's transferring knowledge, because that way the person who gets the knowledge can then help others. So even the 30-day Eternal Youth Health Challenge is designed so that you don't need myself or AJ anymore. That you become your own health professional and you understand what works for you, given the template that we present. And then you can then have the joy of helping others like I have. So we've got people like, I've helped lots of health coaches, Dr. Manasa in India, Biswaji in India. So people all around the world, Dr. Namatha. So just all of these people have done the course. They are now better equipped to teach it. They've layered on their knowledge, their good knowledge already. So yeah, so I hope people aren't shy. Please message me, ask questions, and observe and think. And yeah, that's it, I guess.
Wow, that's what a beautiful purpose of life. Like, I want to transfer knowledge so then they can transfer the knowledge to the others who are meeting in their life.
Yes.
Beautiful. I believe the conversation was absolutely phenomenal in the sense I learned a lot. I have made note of few things, and definitely I'll be in touch with you in WhatsApp to learn more as well, Chad. Yeah, thanks for that. Meena?
Yeah, thank you, Chad. This conversation has been so amazing. I know you have helped a lot of people, including in my own family. When my son was having a problem with the spine, with disc bulge issues, you have how you stepped in and helped and taught him, that knowledge is precious, right? Unlearning, like you said, unlearning and learning. That is what happened with him. And he has also now adopted a healthy, primed lifestyle. And I'm so grateful for that. I can't thank you enough, and thank you so much for having coming here on this podcast. Yeah, and yeah, sharing your knowledge. Yeah.
It's my pleasure, and if you want to do it again, we've got more that we can share on grounding, deuterium. There's sleep more, and but yeah. So it's been a pleasure, and So I've loved the interaction. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thanks, Chad.
You're welcome.